Thank you for inviting me to give a workshop on reduce anxiety, overcome fatigue, improve sleep. Let's start. I've been guiding people for the last 37 years, and in that guidance it is teaching, research, training. The goal is simple: managing pain, achieving well-being, discovering peace and happiness. I've helped thousands of people in anxiety, stress, fatigue, depression, substance abuse, but the most important point is that it's a non-medical approach. It's a personalized programs and practices. Let's be very clear that what we are going to do today will understand what is stress, what are the causes of the stress, the silent killer in many diseases due to the stress, why, and how to help yourself freedom from the stress. We'll have a brief practical session today, and I'll offer you a solution that how you can get rid of these symptoms and the problems of the stress. You know, the stress is secular. It accepts all. Whether you are married or single, whether you are a boss or an employee, whether you're a man or a woman or religious, non-religious, stress says that I will come to you all. No discrimination at all. And what about the stress-induced disorders? The basic fundamental is that we have forgotten our essential nature. That is peace, happiness, love, and the wisdom. So when you forget, then what happens? We live, eat, walk, drink, talk in stress. It is all about stress. You know, that is why we are scared. Oh, who doesn't have stress in this life? And you are right, even the science says the same thing. A recent studies in our country, it says that 77% of the people experience stress at a physical level, as a physical symptom. It's a fatigue, it's insomnia, and 73% experience the same stress at a psychological symptom, maybe anxiety, anger, agitation. And out of both the categories, 33% live in extreme stress, and 48% they belong to a special category. They lie awake in the midnight. They suffer from anxiety anytime. It's a chronic fatigue. They have a wandering and distracted mind. And the serious thing is that as compared to the last year, our level of the stress have increased on a scale of 10 point from 4.2 to 5.1. Let us see, what exactly is the stress? Personal and professional life. The studies says that 48% of the people have personal and professional life stress. 31% difficulty managing family and work together. 35% jobs interfere family and a personal life. The boss doesn't come to you. It is your head. It is your brain, mind. You know, that we'll talk later. 54% fight with the people due to the stress. Alienation due to the stress is 26%, and the same percentages with the people who live in stress all the time. And what is the annual cost? 300 billion. How much you pay? Hans Selye, one of the great pioneers of understanding the stress, he says non-specific response of the body to the demand for change. It may be for the body, it may be for the brain, it may be for the mind, it may be for the emotion. You attack your invader the same way all the time. That is what the non-specific response. Like, I say, how are you? I'm good. I don't want to talk to you. Why don't you dress yourself? It's improper. Who are you? So it is almost a kind of irritation, anger, and hesitation continues all the time. It's a non-specific response. The body also does the same thing. Inflammation, it may be due to the heat, it may be due to the chemical, or someone hits you. So now coming to what are the causes of the stress. A simple way to understand what happens when the tank of gasoline is empty. The resources, there are no resources left. You're extremely hungry, but food is not there. Resources is not there, but the pressure is there. So the simple thing, any symptom, whether it is anxiety, whether it is fatigue or irritation or sleeping distractions, the cause is the pressure is more. The pressure may be from any event in time, in space, in relationship, in possessions. So what happens? The resources are less, and then you have the stress. What happens when some tiger in front of you? And that is what the scientific understanding is, that in that when you have the resources is very less and the pressure is more, so there is a natural reaction of the entire body, brain, breath, and the mind. Either you fight, or a flight, you escape, or you fright. Is there a real danger, right or wrong? Perception is the problem. Perception is the problem, not the real danger. Look at it, what happens when you are in extreme stress and it continues for a couple of weeks and the months together. The resources are less. There is a fusing that happens in the brain and the nerves, and it leads to many psychological problems, muscles and joints. It leads to pain, to the heart, stomach, pancreas, intestine, reproductive system, loss of libido. So that is what I am calling that it is a silent killer, and it leads to many diseases. Now question comes that what are the causes of the stress? Why the mind is interfering? Can you sleep by mind? Can you ask your mind, oh, let me sleep, and you close your eyes, do you fall into sleep? No. Can you breathe by mind? Oh, the breath is continuing 24/7. Can you wake up by mind asking in sleep? These are the natural life pattern created by the universal nature. Can you digest the food once it goes down your throat? You like pizza? That liking remains until this reason. And once it goes down, you never say to me after taking your dinner that, okay, don't talk to me, I'm digesting my food. You see the point? The nature versus the mind. Let us go a little deeper. Cause of the stress is that whether You work on the mind or the mind works on you. When the mind, through its millions of impressions, and 99% is unconscious habitual conditioning, it works on you. Then what happens? You have morning fatigue, hangovers, asking legs to reach to the car and the TV viewing, sitting, no physical activity, smartphone is our next friend, honey and the deer are too far. These are cognitive symptoms, are actions that we perform daily. So it means that the mind is working on us. That is the cause of the stress. How to help yourself free from the stress? The Eastern wisdom. Eastern wisdom follows totally a different set of principles. It has thousands of practices, differs in duration, and every practice may be suitable for you and may not be. So there the role of the teacher comes, who helps you to personalize the practice. And once we start the journey of these practices, we encounter certain aids and the barriers. There are certain myths and the facts. And once we understand that, life is totally free from the stress. Let me give you one example. Who is my chief coordinator, and she's always volunteering her services. I follow her in all cases. She organizes all the programs in the Princeton. A couple of years back, extreme depression, extreme pain. Now there is no pain at all. Total freedom. Now when we come together and I give her a specialized mindfulness for pain management practice, can you imagine, for 1 hour, she goes extremely deep into her consciousness in the state of the peace, happiness, love, and the wisdom. Another case, there are hundreds of cases that I can talk about you. A woman, 45 years of age, suffering from extreme panic attacks, depression, chronic fatigue, and because of that psychological conditions and extreme stress, she was not able to conceive. She asked me, I said, yes, we can work together. We worked for 2 years. She delivered a baby in 2012. Now she is in Florida. Come on, know the basics of Eastern wisdom, how we do it, how we help. That is the question. So why not start practically? We'll spend 5 minutes. I'll give you a paper, 20 questions, answer all the questions, score them, calculate the total score, and hand over the paper to us. I'll have a look at it. We'll go for a simple 4-step relaxation practice. What is that 4-step relaxation practice? It is a non-medical. So the self-evaluation is also non-medical. So once you get me the score, I can customize that program for you, for an entire group at this time. Let's practice. But make sure you we will send you a 4-step relaxation practice as a digital file by email. Make sure you have signed up. So now coming to know the basics of the Eastern wisdom. Can you use the manual of the TV to fix your car? No. So understand the science has created millions of manuals to fix the things outside you in the material world and also in the objective world. But Eastern wisdom and its manual is the discovery of the subjective reality where the science has yet to understand it fully. But it doesn't mean we both complement. The science complements the principles of the Eastern wisdom. So remember, the manual of the Eastern wisdom fires the brain to rewire it. And it guides you, it helps you to awaken to a state where you continue to work on the mind rather than the mind working on you. Just look at a simple example. Sleep. It's a nature's gift. It is an alternating state, means that we sleep, we wake up, we dream, again we sleep. Who interferes? I or your mind? So what you have to do, you have to work on your mind. And the best practices, which is non-medical, doesn't give you any addictive habits, is following the principles and doing the practices that is right for you. We start talking about irregular breathing, addiction, mental problems are the causes of the sleep. No doubt about it. That is what the manual of the science says. What we say, okay, let us understand how to drop the mind. That is constantly nagging you, working on you. So what happens? You move into a deeper state of relaxation. What about the fatigue? Sign of stress. You know what the TAT is? Tired all the time. Overwork. We talk about overwork, mental agitation, medication, addiction. What the science manual says, overwork, balance your work. Mental agitation, control. Medication, if you are addicted to it, you have to drop it. But how can I drop it? I'm already addicted to it. I will have withdrawal symptoms that I have experienced. What we say, learn to change the mind to change the brain, body, and the breath. How? We focus on discovering the inner peace and the happiness inside, and it is gone. Last thing is the anxiety. We say unfounded worries. Who does you the unfounded worries? When the mind is working on you, and when you work on the mind. So mind is the cause. Eastern wisdom says defects can be corrected related to the mind. So what we do, we start changing the mind to change the brain, to change the body, to change our attitude. Life goes into a state of the peace and happiness. Come on, take all the three problems. So I have discovered, almost I have understood, giving these practices and guiding people for the last 35 years. The 5 set of practices can help you get rid of all the 3 challenges that you are facing. Can you spare 15 minutes for 2 practices? Can we spend 5 minutes few times a day? So first practice that I had already given you. The second practice is the self-awareness practice. I need to customize synergy practice that helps you to bring the synergy between the body, breath, brain, and the mind. And then we have the body awareness practice. These are the very subtle practices. There are 100 in numbers, but when I get a right group, based on that I customize those practices, and the higher mindfulness practice that is known as the Shanti meditation practice. You can be free from this. And that I can give you in an intensive program. Again, the last principle, regular practice in the wisdom. You learn these principles, you inspire yourself, you learn from the teacher, and then I personalize it. I remove the myth and the facts. I help you to move into a right experiences and the set of indications that helps you that you are doing good. And all these things that I cover in an intensive workshop. Thank you.